What a great way to start with my microphone off. Hello, everybody, and welcome to After the Credits number. Look at that, it's 99, episode 99 of the show. How is everyone doing today? How are we today? Right now, it's just me. Hello. I don't do many of these anymore. I used to only do these solo. What the fuck did I do? Um, these like solo layout live streams. I'm not used to them anymore. Some people have a link. We'll see who pops in, who says hi. But if not, we're gonna sit here. We're gonna do some shows. We're gonna chat with you, wonderful people. How is everybody today? Let's start with some chat to see if anyone pops in later on. Chris is in the chat, said, hello, Darren and co. Just Darren today, or for now, or whatever. We'll see. We shall see. Good day, good people. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Is it the weekend? Oh, well, it's Monday. So yeah, previously weekend. Yes. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's like midday through the week. Let me get some music going though as well, because just me chatting and gabbing, it's a bit of a bore fest, right? So let's get some background music playing in here. But no, I had a good weekend. It's kind of just been me prepping for the holiday rush at work. Anyone that works retail of any sorts knows that the Christmas week holiday week in general. So the Christmases, the Thanksgivings, the New Year's, even the Super Bowl, are always kind of like crazy. Everyone's getting all their shit last minute. No one knows how to behave like an adult. So yeah, but that's interesting. But how's everyone doing today? It's been a crazy week. I feel like there's been a lot coming out recently because it's like holiday week, because it's the big bombastic stuff over these next couple of whatevers. Hey Cameron, what's going on? I'm playing a Lego game on my 2DS. What a pool. Hell yeah. I never had a 2DS. My friends had one, and I always thought they were cool. I had the DS XL, I think is what it was called. And mine was always bigger. Take that out of context, as you will. Yes, you read that right. A fossil of a device. No, you know what? Hell yeah. No, I love it. I have my DS XL up there. I have my Wii U around here somewhere. I should pull that out at some point and start streaming that. But no, it's fair. First look at Pennywise. We sure did get our first look at Pennywise. We sure did. I'm excited to talk about it. The final 20 minutes of it were fucking insane. They were insanity for sure. Harrison James says, I can't relate when I can relate when I work in hospitality. Also the same, busy seasons. They're insane. I saw this week some 20-year-old screaming at some like 60 to 80-year-old in the parking lot because their car was moving too slowly. And it's just like, guys, we gotta relax. We gotta breathe. Take a breath in. It's taking an extra minute to get somewhere is not going to be the end of the world. It's going to be okay. You guys deserve a bonus for dealing with entitled psychopaths during the week. We do get a holiday bonus. Is it enough? Probably not. But I don't know. Danielle Nicolette came out and said that she was originally supposed to get the suit earlier in the Flash season 9. Oh, I mean, that makes sense. Because didn't she only wear it for like the one episode? So yeah, makes sense. I wonder what changed around. Because it did seem like season 9 was sort of like a production, like, hellhole. It did kind of feel like it was kind of a mess of a thing. So I don't blame her for it being kind of crazy, kind of nuts. Whatever. I've stopped complaining. That season's a hellhole. I don't love it. I have a freak out every time I talk about it, and I'm just kind of like, it happened. It was a mess. It happened. It is what it is. And moving on to better and brighter water. Although next week we might be talking about it again, because next week we are ranking every show we've ever reviewed on this show. So guess that includes The Flash, sort of, kind of. Get ready to re-rank The Flash. Not that I think it will move, but the 2DS was made for both DS and 3DS games. And Lego games are a gold mine for consistent replayability. I never got into the Lego games too crazy much. I always liked them, but I always struggled with them as a kid. But I think I might change that next year with that new Lego Batman game. I've never really played a Batman game, but I think I might make that my first. So that's going to be fun. 2 episodes? 2. It was the final 2 episodes. Okay. Season 9 of The Flash was all over the place. I've been there. I've done that. I don't need to repeat that fucking tangent. Solo stream tonight. Some people have a link. I've been you know what? Here's what I'll say. Some like little inside baseball. So Taz is the best co-host I can ever ask for. He's my main man, genuinely one of my best friends. But I have been kind of reaching out a little bit out of the bubble, just because he's very busy with work, for one, and 2, he does not watch all the shows that we cover here. So I've been opening up more of a cast for the show, I guess. Not to the extent of like a Party Nation or, like a council where you kind of have the same people every week. I guess it's kind of like that, but like on a much smaller scale. Like I really never want more than like 2 or 3 people on in an episode. But yeah, no, I'm slowly inviting a couple people into a group chat. So that transition kind of going into the next year. And also just like with next week being 100 episodes, it's like, okay, do we need to potentially evolve how we do it? Especially now that it's the only live show we do as well. I guess on this channel, at least. The term you're looking for is a shit show. XD. Post-COVID Arrowverse production was a shit show. In fairness, understandably. It kind of, I get it. I would also be a shit show if I had to run like a production post-COVID. But I think Flash had the worst of it, to be honest with you. I think Flash really struggled post-COVID. They struggled pre-COVID too, but I think especially post-COVID. Especially when you were kind of looking at what some of the other stuff was doing, like what Superman and Lois was operating on and what Stargirl was operating on. And even like Legends, I think got better in those last couple seasons than they had been in a couple years. Supergirl also struggled. Supergirl actually probably struggled the most out of any show. Because like Melissa was like doing Broadway and she had a baby and she was kind of losing that interest. There was a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Batwoman too really struggled in terms of just like unluckiness, kind of back to back. So yeah. Yeah, we'll do a couple more rounds of Q&A questioning kind of things, and then we'll find a show to hop into. Darren, you and Lance and Taj need to rant about the Flash season now. We've done it. We've go back to those Party Nation episodes while the thing was airing. We ranted. We've ranted enough about that season. But eventually, when the Arrowverse retrospective gets there, in like 10 years, maybe we'll get back there eventually. I don't know. Probably not. And Candace Patton wasn't there the whole time. Yeah. Candace Patton. I love Candace Patton. Love Irish, but yeah. There was a lot of just like weirdness behind the scenes with just being there, I feel like. But I don't want to assume. I don't know what was going on around that time. Life is Strange playthrough hitting in the fields. Hell yeah, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I am a good chunk through the final bits of Life is Strange. I'm on chapter 5. I'm in the area, the like nightmare sequence. And it was like, I don't know, it was like 12:30 in the morning. I had been playing for 2.5 hours. The nightmare sequence was freaking me the fuck out, and I couldn't get past it. And I was like, you know what? We're setting this down for the night. We're putting this down, and I'll try and finish it tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday, isn't it? I'll try and finish it tomorrow to have it up by Wednesday. I'm cutting it close this week, though. But yeah, no, it's going to be very interesting. I'm excited to wrap that game. I need to wrap it before I can start my next lineup of things to do. My next game, I guess, if you will. Okay, I guess with that being said, valid, it's fucking freaky as fuck, man. And I played like Last of Us. I felt like that scene was giving me more jump scares than like Last of Us. Like I like every time they're like, "Hey, stop!" I'm like, "Oh, no, don't, please don't." But yeah, no. All right, we are. Let me make sure. Okay, no one's in the chat. Okay, so we are going to be jumping into today's episode. Black Lightning Season 4. Black Lightning... you are right with that. Black Lightning had the fucking worst post-COVID career. You are correct with that. To be fair, I don't know how much COVID itself had to do with it, and how much of it was just, like, actor drama. I seem like most of it was just like, well, this person's mad that this person isn't there, and this person's mad that this person is there, and it's just like the studio kind of being weird about everything, and it just being like, we just need to end this shit. We just need to end it, call our quits, have it be done, because yeah, no, for sure. God, season 4 might piss me off more than any other Arrowverse season, to be honest, because they had such a... They were so close to being the best Arrowverse show, I think. Like, not to go off on like a tangent, but like, I think season 1's really strong. I think season 2 is like less strong, but still really strong. I think season 3 is almost a perfect season of TV. Season 3 is incredible. Great stuff. If season 4 would have been strong, I would have advocated it for it to have been the best, at least Earth Prime show. And I think it would have been right there with like Stargirl and Superman and Lois. But they dropped the ball so hard. They never recovered. Never recovered. I don't like season 2 and 4. Fair. I like 2 way more than most people. But I understand it is a bit messy in some areas. It doesn't always quite work. But I like it still. But I also have only seen it once. Oh, maybe I should do whatever. Here's something I also want to do really, really quickly. I want to mention it, for I can add it next week. Because next week we are ranking every show that we've ever reviewed on the show. So I'm doing this where I can add it to the list next week. Stranger Things comes back in a couple of days, in like 2 days to be fact, and I've been binging the fuck out of Stranger Things. I've been binging so much of it. I'm loving it. I'm adoring it. So note to self, add Stranger Things to the compilation of shows next week. But no, I'm really enjoying my Stranger Things rewatch. I have so much, I think, more love for the first couple seasons. I've always kind of said, like, okay, I like season 1, but I like 3 and 4 more, which is the hot take. And I think rewatching those seasons, I now have a greater appreciation for those seasons. I have a greater understanding, I think. Season 1 is pretty much a masterpiece, like everyone says. It is such a strong season of TV. It fully just knows the vibe and knows what it is. It's such this like condensed little beautiful thing that like they've created. But like I think the reason I was never as into it as everyone else is it just, at least like retrospectfully, didn't have the things that I come for Stranger Things for yet. Like, it didn't have the like Steve Harrington I like, and the like Steve and Dustin dynamic, and the Steve and Robin, and the Robin and Nancy, and like the Max stuff, and the Max and Lucas, and just Max in general with everything. And like so much of what I love from the show comes in like season 2 somewhat, but like especially seasons 3 and 4. So it was really interesting revisiting that first season, seeing everybody young again, seeing everybody little babies, and how solid that first season is. Season 2 is still my least favorite. I like it though. It's good. I think season 3 kind of gets the like kick in the nuts of the seasons. I think mainly because of that backdoor pilot, which is a little unfair. I think if you take that out, it's kind of just, if not in some areas, a little stronger than season 1. Outside of a couple plot lines, like I don't love the Nancy and Jonathan plot line. Some plot lines feel a little repetitive of the first season, which is understandable. It was only meant to be one season, if I remember correctly. So they were like, "Oh shit, this is popular. We need a new season." I think for like what it is, it's really, 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 really good. But it is my least favorite. Season 3 is interesting. Season 3 was always one of my favorite seasons. I like it a lot. On rewatch, I had a couple more problems with it than I had previously, but it's still, I think, almost like the heart of the show. Like, I do really think what people now adore about Stranger Things is because of season 3. It's those like dynamics and the like. It's almost like the heart of the show. Because season 1 and 2 are so depressing and dour. And not to say season 3 isn't depressing and dour, but I think season 3 brought such a a heart to Stranger Things that wasn't there previously. That trio, or I guess that like the 4-person trio. There's a word for 4-person group. I'm not thinking of it right now though. But like the Steve, Robin, Dustin, Erica trio. Chef's kiss. Everything with them is just chef's kiss. It's incredible. I love the like merger of just like what is it, like the Mike, Dustin, Will, Lucas, 11 plus Nancy and Jonathan. All that giant ass group kind of combining was so good. I really like that a lot. Nancy's really good this season. I don't love Hopper and Joyce as much as I did previously. I think that entire side of the plotline, everything with like the Russian invaders and stuff like that never, like, at least in terms of like the Will and not the Will, the like Joyce and Hopper stuff never really works for me. Even like this stuff like with them all with like the Russian stuff is like, it's a little out there. I do think it's a bit of a heel turn for like what the show is and how it operates, but no, that's very interesting for sure. Jeffrey's here says he's Darren's solo. Hi, I am solo for now, at least. I don't know if anyone else is hopping in tonight, but for now I am solo. I am. You will be reminded. Reminded of what? I forget. Been doing my Stranger Things first watch. LOL. My little sister has been on my case for ages to give it a shot. Oh, first watch. Oh, hell yeah. Ended up doing the same thing I did with Game of Thrones. Binged it before the last season. Hell yeah. I binged Game of Thrones before House of the Dragon. And then I just never. I did finish it eventually, but I never like finished season 1 of House of the Dragon until like much later. But hell yeah, let me know what you're thinking of it. Like, how far into it are you, and like, what's your like general vibe on it? I would love to hear. Okay, I feel like we should attempt to dive into the show. If it is just me, it'll probably be a shorter edition tonight. It'll probably be a lesser deep dive because it is just me. There's not really a back and forth that's going to end up happening. But yeah. To put Stranger Things in next week. To put Stranger Things in next week. Oh, the ranking. No, yeah. No, I'm probably gonna put that together tonight. I'm probably gonna put together all the shows that I have compiled over the years. Basically just copy what we did last year, but add all the like 20 or odd shows we've reviewed this year. I will be interested to see how many we've actually covered this year. Also, if there's anything else you guys want in the like 100th anniversary or the 100th episode thing next week, let me know. I'll try to include people's ideas depending on what people want. Alrighty. Just got home from work, Dad. Hello, Lance. I would ask if you want to join, but I'm pretty sure you've never seen. I don't know if you watch any of these shows, so probably not. But how's it going, buddy? Okay. Let's dive into some shows. Let me try and give my breakthrough. Let's start with Pluribus, just in case anybody does pop in. Because I know Pluribus, I feel like, is the one that people are watching the least amount of, which is, what is this right here? Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna keep it like this, though. But, yeah, just have a giant white spot on there. Who cares? LOL, I'm going to start them just for you. Well, thank you, Lance. I think you will... You will love Hazbin Hotel. That's right up your alley, man. I actually think you would love Pluribus, though. I would actually highly recommend that one for you. But yeah, episode 4 of Pluribus. Episode 4 of Pluribus. How am I feeling? Oh, let me actually answer this first while we're still in the Stranger Things of it all. I'm a fan. Just finished season 3 over the weekend. That or 1 are my favorites. Season 4 started real good, though. I'll be finishing it hopefully tonight/tomorrow. If you think the start of season 4 is good, you will love I think season 4 is my favorite. I think I still need to finish my season 4 rewatch, but I think episodes 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The final 5 episodes of season 4 is peak Stranger Things. I think that is some of the coolest TV I've ever seen in my gosh darn life. If you like the first 4, you will love the final. If you like the first 3, you'll love the final 5. For sure. Not that the first 3 are bad, they're just kind of they're building up to it. It's a build-up season, and it needs to do it for they can do what they're doing. Hype. Oh my god. Episode 4 of season 4 is my favorite. It's in my favorite TV episodes of all time list. I don't know if you've got to that point yet, but episode 4 is incredible. Okay, Pluribus episode. Speaking of episode 4s, So yeah, no, we're kind of neck deep into the season at this point. I think the first 3 episodes of the show have kind of been built. What's this episode called? It's called Please Carol. The episode was called Please Carol. I think episode 1 was kind of introducing a concept. Episode 2 was asking all the questions, really, or a lot of the major questions we had. Episode 3 settled you down a little bit. Episode 3 was a lot more down to earth of a season. And it's her kind of like giving up and like, but you still see that spark in her. And episode 4, I think, is an episode of fully uniting that spark again to try something and to kind of get back up. And I'm trying to justify like the whole episode in my mind of us like, okay, what fully happened, where they go. I think these episodes are always very straightforward, so it's hard to like narrow down, okay, wait, what exactly happened within them. But yeah, no, like this is a question where, or I guess this is an episode where Carol is fully like, I need to stop this. Like she after what she finds out last week about like, oh yeah, like we would give you like the codes to like the world's nukes if we had to. Like if we had to do that, we could. And this is her finally being like, okay, we got to put an end to this. We got to stop this. I got to preserve this the most I can. And so it's her literally like getting the like dry erase board up and being like, okay, writing this and writing this and writing this and finding out clues. And she's like literally like interviewing them about who they are and what they're doing and why they're doing it. And I do think that's pretty interesting. Like I really like the sequence when she like sits down with forget the guy's name, but we introduce this like new guy. We like meet the like mayor of the town being like, hey Carol, what's up? But yeah, like we bring in this guy and she's like interviewing her about the books. And I think that aspect of it was so fascinating, where it's like so like, what do you think of my books? Like, do you like them? Do you enjoy them? They're like, oh, we love them. We adore them. And it's like, oh yes, like we would compare them to Shakespeare. We would compare them to Romeo and Juliet. And this aspect of just like, there are people within the mindscape that do think they're some of the greatest literature that they have ever seen. And they are using that information to create that opinion and to create that and to make her happy and make her satisfied. Like that is very interesting to me. I thought that stuff was very fascinating. I think there's that the like tone. I think the way the show uses tone is also very fascinating. There's the bits of like, okay, so like, what did she think of my writing? What did she like my work? It's like she thought it was okay. She thought it was all right. I didn't love it, but like there's that tone change that these actors do very well, where they can change their acting ability, or not their ability, but their acting portrayals depending on what the scenes are and how these actors are portraying these scenes are legitimately beautiful, I think. And it's really, really cool to see. But like I like the like, well, does that really matter? Do you need to know? But that aspect that like they seemingly have to tell the truth. They have to stay true to Carol and like her entire thing. So like that's very interesting to me. That's very fascinating. I'm curious to kind of see where we're leading, because like I guess the big meats and potatoes of the episode is like her being like, I need to go get cocaine. No, heroin. She has to go get heroin. Am I allowed to say that word on YouTube? I'm not even sure. But like she gets heroin, she is completely fucked up and will just completely tell the truth. And she infects her friend with heroin to try and get the truth out of her and to try to get the answers that she needs out of her. And yeah, I thought that whole sequence was very interesting. The like vulnerableness of Carol within the sequence, where she's like fucked up on heroin like all night and she's saying all this shit. And I think the real versions of Carol is like slowly coming out and slowly dripping out, and that is very interesting. That is very fascinating. But the like final sequence of the episode is again pretty insane, where like, yes, she has dosed her with this, and like all the people are surrounding her. They can't hurt her, but they need to stop this. Like, she's trying to get this information out of her, and they technically can't stop it, it seems. Like, she's slowly getting to a point where she kind of is about to tell her until she goes into cardiac arrest. So like that whole sequence is crazy, and I think the way it was framed was so fascinating, and the way that they're kind of building this mystery, and like now we do know there is a way to stop this. There is a way to fix this. Where is that going to lead ultimately? It is, I think, the like big meats and potatoes of the season is like, okay, we know this isn't a one and done. We know that this is going to be this ongoing story. They said hypothetically like 4 seasons, but it could go longer. So what does that mean long term about this mystery? Is there really a way to say or to fix all this? If there is, does she ever figure it out? How long does that take? Is there like a scenario where she has to choose like not to for the sake of the human race or something? Like, there's a lot of questions that are being introduced here, that are very interesting, that are very fascinating, that I'm very curious to kind of see how we slowly unravel this mystery, and we slowly unravel this. It was a very straightforward episode. I'm trying to think, because again, I'm alone here, so I'm trying to like. Usually, I can like bounce my ideas off of other people. We were introduced to the guy that she was trying to reach out to. What is it, episode 3? I think it was episode 3. That was also kind of interesting, seeing his POV. The like, at first she's thinking it's them and just wanting nothing to do with it and wanting nothing to do with any of them, and by the end he does realize once it's too late, oh wait, that wasn't part of the hive mind. That was something else. That was something different. And I think that aspect was interesting. Where does that lead? He now knows her name. He knows who, like, what her name is. So is he going to try and like find her, go to where she is? Is that maybe the end of the season, perhaps? That would be kind of interesting if that's like a lead into season 2, perhaps. I like the depravity of her character as well, or of his character, of just like, he is not as strong as Carol, or definitely not as strong as the other characters, because he's in there, he's eating like, coffee mix and dog food, and he's run out of his own food, and he is like refusing their source of food. So once he's out of the dog food, what is he going to do? Does he give in, or does he like, I don't know. Does he give in, or does he find other means of whatever? That will be very interesting. I like how Carol has to use an analog methods to learn about the hive mind. It's really interesting. It's really, really interesting to kind of. I think it's really interesting to push a character having no resources, like having a character that can have anything she wants, but to do what she needs, she has the resources of nobody. And she has to kind of like just use her own base instincts. She's not a genius. She's not a scientist. She's not a, super educated person. She's just kind of a woman who writes, smut, and that's kind of it. So I do think it's very interesting Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm very interested to see where it goes. It feels like he knows more about the hive mind with his. Yeah, it's interesting. Or is he just fucking stubborn? Like he seemed kind of older. He seemed very set in his ways. Maybe he does know a little bit more, but I don't know. He could just be like very, very stubborn. I don't need anybody. I don't want anybody. This is bullshit. Which is how he should be. And like, so is Carol. Like, Carol's also kind of at that point of just like, I think she's kind of that middle ground that I think is interesting. Like, he's over here being like, I want nothing. I will get 0 resources from you. I want nothing. I'm separating myself completely. This is bullshit. And then you have like the other people that we've met in episode 2 that are very much just kind of like, well, we're kings. Like, and we will take anything we want, and we will fully take advantage of this until we can't anymore. And then there's Carol as this kind of like in between that I think is very fascinating to see her, where it's like, I don't want anything from you, but it seems like she's finally like, okay, I kind of have to if I want to survive. So it's like using it just enough to get what she needs, to get what she wants. Is interesting for sure. It's fascinating. I'm really into it. So what? This is episode. I could see that. Yeah, I assume you mean the part about was it Marcus? Is that his name? What? I assume that's in reference to having to eat dog food. Yeah, no. It's definitely a very hard scene to watch, as he just like the way he like scrapes the can. He's like, it was like, no, stop. But also, yeah, makes sense. Excited where the season leads. I have questions about the world at large, about where we're going. I feel like I end every episode like that, of just being like, so where are we going? Like, what are we doing? What's the trajectory of the season? Where are we headed? So yeah, no, I'm curious. That's nasty. LOL. But that's all the food he has, man. That, you know, it's that or starve. So yeah, no, it's fascinating stuff. All right. I guess we'll move on to our next show here. I'm thinking of, should we do It Welcome to Derry or the finale of Hazbin Hotel? Here is what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do Welcome to Derry first, and then we will, because I am hoping someone will hop in for Hazbin. I'm still kind of hoping for that. So we'll save Hazbin Hotel last, and if we have time after everything, because I don't think I'll chat too much about Welcome to Derry since I'm solo. Although I do have thoughts. So we'll do Welcome to Derry, and then we'll end it with Hazbin Hotel, and then a little bit of a ranking-y kind of thing. Okay. It's Welcome to Derry. Now, we've heard about this season, or this episode. We have some friends that get to see these things early. And they were warning us about episode 5. They're like, just you wait. Just you wait. Episode 5 is the crazy one. Episode 5 is the one to be worried about. Excuse me. So, like, we were kind of, like, sitting here and waiting for when that would happen. Or, like, what episode 5 is going to have in store. And let me pull up the cast list here really quickly, because the characters are kind of important, I feel like. Where's the cast list? Okay, I have it now. All right. But yeah, like, I was very curious to kind of see what this episode would endure, and I think this episode has I think the season has kind of officially started. Like, I think this season has had such a good slow build to what it's doing. The season, like, episode 1 was kind of your, like, okay, here's what you think it is, and then it's not it at all. And then episode 2, I think, is the real pilot. And so, like, episode 2 is setting things in motions. And then 3 and 4 is, like, kind of carrying it out. It's slowly stepping towards what it is and those building blocks that need to be set up. Episode 5, I felt like, oh, this is the season. We are here. We are where we need to be. We are fully established in the season and the template. Like, now we are where I thought we were episode 1. Like, what the plot? And it's like, oh, things are coming, things are forming, the cast is finally fully together, the plot is fully here. We have done the work. The season has done the damn work. And now we get to reap in its rewards. Which is very fun. It's very exciting. This episode kind of tricked me again. Because the first half, or most of this episode, I was kind of sitting there being like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I was like, this feels kind of rushed and this feels very repetitive. Spoilers for Welcome to Derry, if you've not seen it already. The big twist is that Maddie shows back up and he's like alive. And it's like, wait, what? And like, we kind of theorized that last week. We were like, well, we didn't actually see him die. Maybe he's still alive. And they do it like so nonchalantly. They kind of just do it. And I was like, man, this isn't really hitting for me. Like, I wish that moment hit more, and I wish it blah, blah, blah. And then you get to the final act of the episode, and you realize it's literally the point. Like, the point is that it wasn't supposed to feel right, that it is weird, that it is wrong, because it is. It's not Maddie. It was it the whole time, pretending to be Maddie. What a fucking brilliant twist that I should have seen coming. I should have, like, suspected it was weird, but I didn't. I let the show trick me a second time. They got me episode 1 in, like, the most, like, fucked up, like, twist of all time that I probably have ever seen. Closest to, like, Invincible, right? And then I was like, oh, I got it now. They won't do this to me again. And they did it again. So, like, shout out to these writers. Shout out to these producers. They know what they're doing. They know how to write television. I am just so proud of this show. I really am. Because, like, I do feel like so many times, like, these... when you transition a franchise into a movie from a TV show, if that's Marvel, if that's DC, if that's, whatever it may be, even like, like the Monsterverse, like, what is it, like Legacy of Monsters, that show's fun. It doesn't really feel like a TV show though. It feels like a long movie. I know Alien, for like many people, kind of felt like that. It was like, it didn't really feel like a show. I just don't need to finish it. But like, I think the fact that they have been doing this transition, like, it feels like it's being written by people who genuinely know what the fuck they're doing. They know how to write an episodic TV show. They know how to pace it. They know how to run a story that is not a movie. It is 8 hours of television. It is a slow burn, well put together show. And I think the reveal of Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård coming back as his character, hit like crack. It really did. Waiting was the best thing that this show could have done. That was truly, I think, the best decision this show made, was to wait. They didn't even wait long. I would have maybe even waited longer, to be honest with you. I think they could have got away with waiting until next week, but I think episode 5 is that perfect sweet number of, like, Not too crazy long, but just enough to kind of let that pacing kind of work itself into the narrative. So shout out to them. What a brilliant twist. The payoff feels so good. Those first 4 episodes, sorry, those first 4 make this episode hit. No, 100%. It is the slow burn. Like, I think this show has been like a really good roller coaster. It's like episode 1, you have it's like those roller coasters that have like a really high drop in like the first couple minutes. It goes up and it goes instantly down. It's like, okay, that was the coaster. And then episodes 2, 3, and 4 were slowly ticking back up the hill. It was slowly ticking back up, and now we have reached the top of the roller coaster now. And I think these final 5 are going to be able to just reap the rewards and reap the benefits and reward themselves in doing such a well-paced, just a good job at telling the story. The reveal itself was terrifying as well. I think I'm sorry, I was just looking at cast listings. But like as they're like slowly kind of rising out of the ground, like all the kids that she's killed, and you see like Maddie's face like turn in like just the right way, and he like rings around the pole and he's doing the evil laugh and he's swinging around, he's slowly transforming into Pennywise. Brilliant stuff. What a beautiful performance. And I think shout out to the kid who plays Maddie. What's his name? I had it here. I did have it here. I thought I did. Yes. What is it? Miles Eskhart, I think. As Maddie Clemens. Brilliant performance. Holy shit. Performance of a lifetime. Couldn't believe it. Also, all these like little actors, all these children actors are killing it this season. Emmy season, please, for the love of God, Emmy season, nominate these goddamn kids. Both of our main leads here. What is it? Not Marty's doing good too, but Ronnie's actor and Lily's actor, please, when it come Emmy season, I want at least one of, if not both of them, nominated. I don't think they can both get nominated, but at least one of them get nominated for like best lead actor in a show, because killing it. They are fucking killing it. Please, they are so good. Their performances every week are just top of the notch. They are doing such a good job. I really love the stuff when they're like in the like bunker, when like both kind of teams of kids are going down. Like I think that just that entire sequence is genuinely gorgeous, because you kind of know what's happening, right? You know kind of where it's leading. It's like, okay, they're going down to hunt down this monster, and like they're being told, like there's a sequence is like, no matter what you see down there, shoot it first, as fast as possible. You have to kill it. Doesn't matter if it's your ex-girlfriend or like a gym teacher, you must kill it at all costs. It's not them. And so like you also know the kids are going down and they're high, which was also such a fun like comedic element to the episode, which I actually think was balanced well. That's a bit that could have been done really, really badly. Like it could have been just like very over the top, very just like too much, just very much just like doing too much and just getting carried away and like the humor of it all. But I think it's done for like the perfect amount of time. It's not too cheesy. Some, I think, movies and TV shows I see take the like, oh, they're drugged, oh, they're drunk bits too far sometimes, where it's like, well, that kind of turned down the episode. I think it's funny, but like there's a really good like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode that does this, where it's like, oh, this is really funny, but maybe it's going on a bit too long, or maybe it's like just a little bit too much within the edit, or whatever. But I think it's done just enough where it's like, oh, they are fully high. None of them have truly been high before. They don't know what this feeling is. And it doesn't really work ultimately. Like they still get shared skit. They still get scared shitless, it's still not a good move. Because I just think it wears off. I think if you see something scary enough, it's just not going to be effective. As in like an alien, like his whole thing is fear, so it makes sense it wouldn't truly work on him. But I thought that was really interesting. But just the like cementing of that scene is so good. It might be one of the best like television scenes I've seen this year. Because again, you know where it's building to, where it's like, okay, they have guns and they are set to kill anything that's weird and creepy. And inherently, why would his kids be down there? Like, why would the kids be down there who are drugged and acting weird and acting out of it? Why would they be down in this fucking tunnel where there was an alien creature? But they are. And the bits of like, wait, I see it too. No. Like, that was so good. That was such a well done, paced scene. And I'm curious to see like the consequences of that starting next week. Like, just like parents wise, of just like, okay, now that everyone is kind of in on the loop and like everyone knows everything, like how is that going to affect it? And it does kind of feel like we are maybe building to like now like this huge epic 3-episode romp with these characters, and it feels like it's going to be like, okay, now it's the plot of it. Now it's fully like, it's going to be fully after them. Everyone's together. Everyone's working as a team. I really liked the inclusion of, let me look up names. I think it's Marge. Isn't that her name? Marge. Yes, Marge took a direction I did not think she was going into this week. She did a truly fantastic job. I guess just as a character, like she went a direction I did not think that they were going to take her in, which was a good, decent human being. Like, especially where we were last week, I was thinking, like, I honestly thought it was going to be worst case scenario. I truly thought it was going to be she gets locked back in the psych ward. I really thought, which I still think might come eventually. I still think they might do the like psych ward episode where like her like in the asylum with all the other kids. Like, I think that's coming. But I really thought it was going to be, well, she almost murdered, like everyone thinks and assumes that she just murdered a fucking girl. That she just blatantly tried to murder somebody. She tried to rip her eyes out. She is crazy. I thought Marge was really going to be like, she attacked me. She attacked me to protect her own image. Because like the whole season has been her being like, well, she's doing what's best in her own interest to be popular and like get in like with all the popular kids. And to protect the image, I really thought it was like, oh, she's going to throw her under the bus. There's no way around this. And I was so pleasantly surprised that we opened up the episode being like, don't worry, I told them you were helping me get my glasses on and things went awry. I was like, really? Because nothing else in the season really felt like it was kind of building up to that. And maybe that's like a bit of a criticism I could have if I wanted to just be like, well, maybe that transformation came off a little fast. But also, she was just attacked by like a demon creature, and she's probably traumatized for life. Like, she's probably never having a normal childhood again. And like, I guess it makes sense that if anything is going to make you, like, trauma does move you closer. And I bet in this moment, she probably does realize what's most important to her in life and what really matters. And ultimately, it's like, well, I don't want this to happen again. How do we fix this? And also just like, even as a young child, it's probably like, well, life is too short to focus on this bullshit. That is popularity and numbers. And I realized in this moment that you are my true friend who is trying to help me. What the fuck was I doing? I'm so sorry. And I think like, even as I'm talking about it, I feel better about it, where it's like, oh, okay, this is fine. Like, this is okay. This kind of works for the story that they're telling here. So, yeah. Anyone else have any thoughts on it? Welcome to Derry before we move on. I think I hit all the bullet points that we kind of needed to hit. The general this week, they were doing some more stuff with Rose. Like, Rose is kind of fully filled into what they're working on with what they're doing. And now she's in a weird spot where it's like, well, she doesn't want this. Like, I like her moments of like, wait, you want to use this thing? Like, are you fucking crazy? Like, you have lost your mind. What the hell? But like, to a point where it's like, well, I guess if it's either I help you or you are all going to get brutally murdered and killed. So that was interesting. We had, what is it? Halloran kind of got like mixed up with the rest of the group. He's kind of off on his own now. They don't know if he's alive or if he's not. So I don't know. Let's see where that goes this season. I'm very curious because I don't really know what we're doing with him. He's kind of been I think honestly he's been a bit of like the weak link for me so far. Like, I think he's cool, but I don't know what we're doing. I just don't know where that's heading. I don't know. Contender for the best show of the year. My one gripe, Welcome to Derry, should have aired in August through September and to end on Halloween. I fully agree. My only like pushback would have been like, okay, maybe they were like trying to build to Christmas, because it does end like mid-December, I think. So like, but that's not what they did. Like, the first episode was around Christmas. It's no longer Christmas. So yeah, I fully agree. Because honestly, as much as I'm loving the show, I don't really want to be talking about it week to week now. I think that like the freaky vibes are kind of over. I want to be heading into like Christmas vibes, and I want to talk about some of these other more Christmassy kind of shows. Like, we're about to get Fallout. That feels a lot more like around the holiday kind of vibes. So, but no, fully agree. Contender for best show of the year. Ooh. Yeah, it's up there. I could see it hitting top 5 for me. So my top 5 right now. Let me look. I mean, this is kind of spoilers for next week, I guess, a little bit. But I don't care. It's fine. So my top 4 of the year right now, as we speak, is Severance. Severance Season 2, which we covered a little bit, so that will kind of be in the yearly thing, but not much. Dexter Resurrection is my number 2. The Studio, and White Lotus. Most of these we did not cover. We didn't cover most of those shows. I guess I could technically include The Studio. We talked about it like a little tiny itty bitty bit. I could see it getting top 4. Here's the thing. I think Pluribus will end up in my top 5. So that has to come out. I can see this hitting top 5 or top 8-ish. Depending on how the final episode lands. What else comes here? Stranger Things. Where do we think Stranger Things 5 is going to land? Does that even count? Yeah, I mean, it should be done by the end of the year. So that will be there. Fallout we still have to talk about. Although Fallout and Percy Jackson will end next year. So that will be counted as 26 shows for me. So we'll see. You basically hit all of the same things I loved about it. LOL. This is making me even more keen for Andy's Batman. Dude, Andy gets... I really think people misunderstood The Flash. Not the movie itself, but like the problems. Like, yes, a director is going to get the brunt of criticisms for a movie not doing well and a movie not being very good, depending on how you feel about it. I've said it many times before. That movie was doomed way before Andy stepped on the scenes. Like, that was so clearly not Andy's fault. in my opinion, I think that movie was doomed way before. That movie had like 5 different directors and so many different directions, and it was like in multiple different universes, and it was doing multiple different things, and that was a movie that was just doomed by a studio. And I think the good things I like about that movie are from Andy. I truly believe that. And people are like, "You really think that Andy should direct the new Batman?" I'm like, sure. I really think that it was almost like I'm sorry from James Gunn. I think James Gunn was probably like, shit, I know this was hell. I know you do not deserve this. And I think he truly believes in directors' visions and letting them. So like I bet James Gunn was like, listen, I know this was not a good experience for you. I know this was not something that worked in your favor necessarily. Let me give you a movie and let it be your full creative direction. And what a better reward than Batman. I can kind of imagine him being like, I don't know, I've been at the studio forever and it's been such a blah blah blah, and then being like, yeah, but what if it's Batman? Like, what if you're the person that does the Batman movie, the definitive take on the mainstream Batman universe, the like first in-universe solo Batman movie that we've had ever? Have we ever had like a DC multiverse, like a full-fledged DC universe Batman movie? Like, we've had Batman movies, but they've always been like self-isolated to their own little things. Like, the Batman's its own thing, and the Dark Knight trilogy is its own thing. Like, there's never been a, hey, we are in a DC full universe and there's a Batman movie. Like, they've never done that before, to my memory at least. So no, I'm excited for Brave and the Bold. Screw the haters. Fallout is such a dull franchise for MOI. It's MOI. I will probably be silent when you discuss that while it airs. Aw. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Grinch talk with Darren? No. I don't know if I showed it off, but I do have that new Grinch hat over there, which is fun. Pluribus and Welcome to Derry could end up in... I think it will. I think both. I don't know if Welcome to Derry will make my top 5. It makes my top, like, 6 or 7. Unless something insane comes out. Like, to be fair, okay, really quickly, and I will be moving on to Hazbin, because I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit, because it's just me here. But, really quickly, I also need to get caught up on shit. Like, I made this the other day. It was, I guess now it's been 2 months. But I have Wednesday still, which I hear was kind of mixed, but I still have to do it. I have The Bear Season 4, which is always one of the best shows of the year. So that could be up there. Exo Kitty, that probably will not be on there. I like it, but it's not, like, peak television. Andor. I still need to finish Andor. I'm gonna try by year's end, because I know that's most people's like favorite show of the year. So Andor needs to be watched. Only Murders in the Building needs to be watched. I love that show. I will make it happen. Both Walking Dead seasons this year have not been watched. I need to finish Alien Earth this year, and I need to finish Star Wars Visions. Will all that happen? Most likely not, but that is the goal. That is the goal. Those are like my main shows I want to finish before year's end. We'll see. I need to watch all of the Dexter franchise, and the only Apple TV series I've watched a bunch of is Fraggles? Oh, like Fraggle Rock? Okay. I need to catch up on Apple TV shows. Fair. I love Apple TV. I've not watched many Apple TV shows, but every single Apple TV show I've seen, I have adored. I love Ted Lasso, which that comes out next year, guys. That's exciting. I'm excited for that. But yeah, Ted Lasso's great. So far, Pluribus is great. What else have I seen from him? Oh, Severance is great. Severance is incredible. one more that I really, really love. The studio that came out this year is great. And I didn't get past the first episode just because of time and stuff. But the first episode of Haley Steinfeld's Dickinson was also great. I need to actually sit down and watch the whole thing at some point. But yeah, it's great. Andor, the studio, and Severance also. Yeah, no, those are. Severance is like one of those shows where it's like, of course, studio is great. Andor need to finish. It's not his fault. No, well, about Andy, 100%. It's mostly Ezra Miller's fault. I wouldn't not to defend Ezra Miller. I wouldn't say it's completely his fault. I would also say like studio interference and real world circumstances. Like I think a movie like that, it wasn't one thing. It was 1,000 different things. It was like COVID, and it was Ezra Miller, and it was the studio, and it was everything that was going on with the DCU at large, and it was a lot of things. It was a lot of components. It was the shifting of studios. It was a lot. Don't tell Ronan I have to finish the final episode of Andor. LOL. Fair. I know he loves it. I bet I liked season 1 for the most part. It wasn't my complete cup of tea, but I liked it. I love the new prehistoric plant too. What? I loved the new prehistoric planet too. What's that in reference to? Is that a movie he did? Is that a show? What's that reference? Some of the best. Oh! It's a movie. Okay. Gotcha. Apple TV series. Okay. All right. I was like, what are you like? At first, I thought you meant like we were talking about like Welcome to Derry, maybe, or like the Flash movie, and I was like, what are we talking about? Okay. Gotcha. A new Apple TV show. Gotcha. Okay. Let's talk Hazbin Hotel. The season 2 finale. I guess final 2 episodes of Hazbin Hotel. Season 2 has closed. Looking up to cast just so I can easily tackle every character I need to tackle. Or all the plot lines I want and all that jazz. Yeah, season 2 finale. I will say, I've said it every episode, and I'll continue to say it. I don't like 4 weeks of shows. I think at that point you need to choose. I think there can be a benefit to a binge model. I prefer the weekly model. I really hate these in-betweens, though. I really do. I don't like this, like, hey, it's 3 or 4 weeks. It's like, all right. You know, you kind of get into a show and then it ends immediately. I'm not a huge fan of that. But no, it's seasons come to a close. I have adored talking about this. I have, a lot of nostalgia with that first season, especially now that we're approaching 100 episodes. Like, Hazbin was one of the very early shows that we talked about on the pipeline. We talked that show. It was like the maybe 5th or 6th show we ever talked about. I pitched it to Darth, knowing literally nothing, just being like, "Hey, some people have been watching this. You maybe want to check it out." He's like, "Sure." I loved it. Well, okay, actually, hold on. Let me get ahead of myself. I don't know. I just kind of said that without addressing anything. I think I ultimately like this episode, or like these batch of episodes. I like season 2 a lot. I do. It took me a minute though, because like I tweeted out of the gate of the season 2 finale. I'm like, I don't know if I like this. I'm not sure if it's really vibing with me. And I was trying to sit down and be like, why? Like, why doesn't it work for me? And I think I realized it was maybe an expectation thing. I also realized how silly I must look doing a solo stream with a fucking turkey hat on. my big ass head. But no, like I think I went into the finale expecting a very different series finale or season finale, that was maybe pretty unattainable for what I thought it was going to be. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it sucks, but sometimes I think I struggle with like expectation. Sometimes if I have a thought in my head of what I think something is going to be, and it's not that, my brain has a really hard time like adjusting to that change. I dealt with this with Deadpool and Wolverine. I came out of that, I didn't like it. I was like, I don't like this thing. And I realized afterwards, it was like, oh, you don't like it because it wasn't the movie you thought it would be. And it's not necessarily that it's a bad movie. But no, I think it works pretty well. I've been thinking about it today. I've been listening to the soundtrack. I was listening to a little bit of the Vizzy Pop interview that came out about 5, like right after the episode aired, I think. And I think I got a really good insight to what the season was doing. And now that we have everything kind of the whole season kind of out there for me, I like it a lot. No, yeah, I like the season. I like what they did ultimately. I think. I think this season was a season of. I think it was good follow up. I do. I was listening to that like Vibsy interview, and like she said there was like 2 potential season 2s. There is one that was in response to just like wanting to get like. Just in case we didn't get a season 2 and just like wanting to please the fans, stuff like that. And then there was one that was a follow-up to the season, the stories of season 1. And this was a follow-up to season 1. And I think that's a pretty good way to say it. Because yeah, I do like a season that is dealing with the previous season's actions and its characters and where it's going. And I do think you kind of take like, okay, there was this thing that happened in season 1. This was a huge event. This huge thing happened. Now, how does the world deal with said circumstances? How does the world deal with those? And I think putting like Vox at the helm of everything was really, really smart. I think he's a very captivating villain. The way there's no lantern photos. Okay, we'll check that out in a couple minutes. I don't want to ruin the pace of this. But yeah, like I do think it's kind of interesting giving Vox this screen time in such an interesting way. And I think what this what this season does very well is it does work as this kind of evolution of storytelling. It's like, okay, we set the mode in season 1. We set up everything we kind of want it to be, everything we kind of want it to do. But I think season 1 kind of struggles with just doing too much and not enough time to fully commit to what you're doing. And I do think they kind of struggle with that sometimes, where it's like, well, we have heaven and we have this huge dynamic. We have all this huge cast of characters that we want to deal with and stuff like that. But season 2 is like, okay, our episodes are a bit longer now. We have a bit more of a budget. You already know what everything is. You can kind of just like play in that world in such a fascinating way. But the season 2 finale itself. So episode 7 was definitely a huge like setup episode. I think it was a good episode to kind of be like, well, a war is a happening. A war is a coming. We are dealing with the consequences of these things. And like, you know, Val is kind of like I think the Vox Val Velvet dynamics are kind of on edge, like, you know, like we were kind of saying all week. Charlie is having another one of her manic freakouts. Like you are like furthering, like teasing what is Alistair doing? What's his end game? You really dive into the Angel Dust being mind controlled bit, which that part felt very underwhelming to me as well. like I wanted that felt like such a big deal in episode, what is it, 5? 6. Sorry, episode 6. Like that moment hit so unbelievably hard. And I do feel like the ending does do a big thing about it, to be fair. Let me backtrack a little bit, actually, because they're clearly setting it up as a major thing for season 3. But, like, in the episode itself, and, like, I guess, like, the message itself, I do kind of wish they spent a little bit more time on it. Like, I kind of wish there was an episode about just, like, wait, Angel betrayed us? Like, wait, this can't be it. Like, maybe some of, like, maybe I would have really liked if maybe some people were, like, split on it. Where it's, like, maybe Angel and, no, sorry, not Angel. Like, maybe, like, Vaggie and, like, Lucifer. I know he's not here in this episode at this point in time. But, like, you know, maybe Vaggie and, like, someone else. Maybe it's, Baxter. Like, Vaggie and Baxter are like, oh, they betrayed us. What the hell? We need, this is war. And then it's like Charlie and Husk are like, no, they would never. They wouldn't do this. And, you know, like, that's kind of the plot of that episode. You know, I think just a couple extra episodes here would have actually made the world of difference. And I think that's just something that Hazbin will always kind of have against them, is like, yeah, it would be nice to have a couple extra episodes to really flesh out the story, flesh out these characters, where we're leading them, where we're going. I think would be really, really cool. But no, I think what they had to work with, I think it ends in a pretty satisfying way. Like, I didn't end it as badly as I did last season, being like, oh man, like, this was good. It was so rushed and blank, blank, blank. Like, I think it does work as a complete package. In many ways, kind of better than season 1. And I think this season, I think I enjoyed season 1 maybe slightly more, but, like, I think as a complete package, this one might work better as a story and as, like, this kind of complete thing. Let's just go through the characters and kind of their arcs, I guess, throughout the season and this episode. Charlie this season was interesting. I'll say I think Charlie was really strong this season. I don't think people like. I don't think Charlie. It was AI. Damn it, Jeffrey. No, I was kidding. It happens. Happens to the best of us, buddy. Charlie was interesting. I know a lot of people just really, really don't like Charlie this season, but I think that's kind of the point. Like, I think Charlie is, like, very supposedly supposed to be a very unlikable character. Like, I don't think she's supposed to be, like, everyone loves Charlie. Like, I think she is a very flawed character this season, and that's her arc of realizing, like, it's almost like self-acceptance arc of, like, oh, I am annoying. Like, I am kind of, like, not well right now, and this pressure is leaning on me, and I'm not very good at dealing with the pressure. And, like, there's that really great moment in the finale, being like, yeah, I'm not fully ready for this responsibility. Like, I'm not fully equipped to deal with the stress. I need you to lean on, and I need you to be co-owner of this place. Like, this place would not exist without you, and it would have crumbled without you. So thank you so much. Vaggie, this season, I think Vaggie's interesting. Vaggie's interesting. I always enjoy Vaggie a lot. We talked in the, like, Omni Media episode we did, or like the pipeline we did. I was like, I like Vaggie, but I'm really hoping she gets a lot more to do this season, and she does. But she still doesn't really have a character outside of, like, she's Charlie's girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, she is fully just, like, almost this, like, extension of Vaggie. If you're like, okay, what was Vaggie's arc this season? It's like, well, she's taking care of Charlie, and she's taking care of the hotel, and she's really, and I think it's good. I do really think it's good stuff. I forget the song name, but I love her song this season. It is genuinely a beautiful ballad between like a beautiful love ballad between them. Oh, sorry. But I don't know. I wanted a little bit more. I wanted something a little bit stronger with her. I know there's so many characters that's hard, but she's still one of my favorites, to be honest with you. I thought her arc at the end, I really didn't like it. I didn't like the whole season being like, I'm not Maggie. That's not my name. This isn't who I am. To just be like, yeah, it is. Like, I know there's some. I think there's a good story there. This like story about like self-acceptance and self-love, and being like, well, I am my flaws, and even though this was given to me by a bad person, I'm finding the joy and the acceptance in said name. But they don't build to that. It's just like it's something they introduce at the start. They mention it once in the middle, and then they just throw it in at episode 8 to be like, oh yeah, she did have an arc, guys. Look, it's here. It's like, that's not an arc. That's not a thing. And if you just like eliminate like 30 seconds of footage throughout the season, it amounts to really nothing. Even though I love the sentiment, it doesn't really work for me. But I still love Aki. I love the little thing with him and Vox, like her and Vox, where it's like, oh, you brought an angel to this thing. I love a statement like that. That shit's kind of funny. Alistair, drinking cold hot chocolate, by the way. I really liked Alistair this season. I think she was one of the MVPs. The MVPs of the season. Good stuff. Strong stuff. I like him. I like the slow burn with him. I still like knowing like we learned a lot about him this season. We got the origins of him. But I've really liked this kind of slow burn that they've given him. This very much how he tricks Vox at the end. I think that was easily the highlight of the finale, of him just kind of going through and just like the deal. Like, I like he's kind of pinning in both deals he's made with both Vox and Charlie to be like, oh yes, like say that he's the most powerful demon in hell, and it's just like, no, don't make me. And I do like the like visuals of that moment of Alistair just being like, I don't know, like of him coming loose and like literally seeing like the bonds break loose is really, really, really interesting. And then again, like the giant fight between Alistair and Vox is the highlight. It is really, 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 really cool. And I'm really liking kind of the way, like the direction that it did ultimately go. Like, I love that stuff. I love that stuff a lot. I do have questions about just like logistically where he's going. Like, they've teased that he's going to be a much bigger issue in season 3. What does that mean? What exactly is he still doing at the hotel? Like, it's clear that Alistair and Rosie have made a new deal. What is that deal? Was it just like, we restart from the, like, part of me kind of thinks maybe they just kind of restarted the already established deal, right? Like, maybe it's like, okay, you make me the most powerful again, you fix my staff, and I'll go back and protect the hotel, or whatever it was. It's hard because we don't even know exactly what the deal is yet, and where, like, what are the constraints of that deal. No problem, Ben. No problem, my friend. Said sadly busy tonight, but some crazy episodes and a decent finale, I guess. LMAO. Yeah, I think I feel the same. I like it a lot. I don't love it though. But no problem, my friend. Have a great Thanksgiving. But yeah, no, that stuff is interesting. I'm curious to see kind of where it, just like where Alistair is going in general. I think he's still my favorite character in terms of just like fascinatingness to watch on screen. Like, I really, really enjoy him a lot. But we kind of talked about Angel Dust a little bit with her like mind control stuff. I'm interested. I just was not in the mood to watch her very heartbreaking ending at the end of the season. Like I just felt like so just sad about it, just so like exhausted. I am just kind of sad, and I guess I am a little tired of them just treating her like shit. Like, just like in universe, it's so tiring to see Angel Dust be put down, down, and down, and just have the worst life possible. Like, she just cannot. Sorry, he cannot catch a break. He just can't. Where's that going? I'm curious. They kind of seem to have teased that Angel Dust is going to have a very big role in season 3. Like, seems like there's going to be a huge, like, him and Vox dynamic in season 3. A big focus on those two. That scares the shit out of me. Where is this going? Why are we leading to it? Like what are we doing? Scares me a little bit. But, you know, we shall see, I guess. Also, I do love... Actually, I guess we'll get there with Husk. Husk, I like... Husk is still, I think, one of my favorites. I think him and Alistair are just the ones I enjoy watching the most. I love them a lot. Again, part of that is just Keith David and my love for Keith David, and I actually think this might be one of the stronger episodes for him. Like, I love his personality, I think, fully coming out. I've loved the, like, Husk and Angel Dust. Like, that wasn't even a ship I was fully on last season. Like, I know some people did, but I was like, what? So, like, why are we jumping to that? And now that we fully know it's kind of a thing, I'm on it. I am in. I like it. Give it to me. I'm here for it. I like that, like, he brings Husk back to the hotel. Like, I do think he relies on Angel Dust a little bit for his sobriety. I think that's interesting. Not in, like, even like a toxic way. Like I don't mean to frame it as like, oh man, this is a problem he might have. But I like, that's real, man. Like, I think so many people rely on each other for their redemption and for their support. And I think Angel Dust is just that person for Husk, and it brings him back every day, and that's that support system. So it's going to be really interesting to see this, like where is Husk at next season without Angel Dust? Like, what is there an active conversation to save him, to bring him back? He's not captured, right? So ultimately, there's nothing that... I mean, he is captured, he, you know, contractually, but, like, there's nothing that they can really do right now because he is actively not coming back. Like, he's choosing not to be there. So it'd be interesting, like, how much of Husk's arc next season is about, like, trying to get Angel Dust back and trying to save him. It's definitely a very interesting place. I'm wondering how much of a focus it will have. It'll be interesting. Nifty had some of the coolest shit. Shout out to Nifty, man. I started the season being like, Nifty's alright. I don't really like Nifty. I didn't dislike Nifty. I also didn't like her either. I would say indifferent. I think indifferent's the perfect word. I didn't dislike Nifty. I didn't like her. They gave me nothing. And they still haven't given me a lot with Nifty. But she's cool. She's really cool. She's really, really cool. And I think we are... Please forgive me. I think we're building a slow burn with that character. And I think once we ultimately unveil who Nifty is and what she is, I do think the longer they wait, the more interesting it is. Because you're just kind of getting these little breadcrumbs of, like, okay, who is she? And I do have a feeling that she is ultimately the most traumatized, the darkest, the most fascinating backstory out of any character. So I'm really excited for her. I love the Velvet versus Nifty fight. That was awesome. Her smack talk was incredible. Shout out to Nifty this week. Shout out to just Nifty this season. She has really, really surprised me. I liked her a lot. I really enjoyed her. Serpentious this season. Cool. No. I really liked him. I liked him a lot last season too. I think he's a lot more prominent. But no, like I think that they've added a lot of layers to him. They've added a lot of really, really. I think they kind of just add layers to what was cool about him in season 1. Really, like I think that they kind of know. They had everything in place. They had who they wanted to be. But it's like, hey, but like, what if this was him? What if this was him? And what if we just keep kind of adding to his redemption? And I do really like the stuff with him and Sarah. This final episode of just like, well, humans are just scared, man. Like humans don't really know what's up, and we just do anything to survive. And it's very like Good Place coded, where it's like, hey, the world that like. Earth sucks, and sometimes people need just a second chance to try and do better. And I think Sarah just kind of fully now understands the human soul, and she's never really had. But I guess with like her decision, like with the the invasions, like kind of puts her in like, hey, you're kind of doing what humans do. Like if you had done that on Earth, you would have gone to hell for sure. So like, yeah, I liked him. I loved the like musical stuff this week of just like that song where it's like, it starts with Sorry, like reprising that from season 1 and then shifting it to It Starts with Charlie is so brilliant. I wonder if they had that in mind in season 1 or if that was like in the writer's room, they're like, guys, we have the coolest idea. We have to do this. I'd be curious. No, I like Serpentious a lot. I like his little like coming in late thing where it's like, guys, this is Serpentious and I did this. It's like, buddy, we know you're a little late, but at least now people know, right? And so like that will, I think, blend the rest of the season onward, and I think will kind of add to. Well, like, again, I think that's the interesting thing about the ending, is that, like, there wasn't a war, we didn't invade, and now Earth and Heaven are kind of, like, kind of good, right? Like, hypothetically, outside of the angel dust stuff, you could technically end here. I feel like you could kind of stop. I don't want them to. I don't think you should stop, but if someone decided right now, I'm done, you could. I think you could step away. Like, it does kind of have, like, a neat little bow. Like, Charlie's dream has kind of succeeded. She has convinced people to try and give redemption a shot, to try something new. Like, she's won over the demons. Her mother has finally called her. There's a lot of unanswered mysteries, but you could, like, it ends in a very kind of neat and happy way. That I think is very, very interesting. Valentino is now ahead of Vox Tech. I guess we could talk about all of them at once. Vox is kind of like, yeah, Vox has a meltdown. Like, he confirmed, like Alistair called it episode 5 or 4, where it's like, when you have your, what is it, when you have your meltdown in Act 3. He had his meltdown in Act 3. He lost it. He was kind of the destroyer of his own making. I do think this episode, though does kind of show to me that he would have never succeeded. I do think it's very Tower of Babylon. I think the moment this war actually, like, yes, he has the the weapon, but I think if war actually started, I think they would have destroyed him. I think if we sent the troops down, if we actually sent the troops down, we have never seen the full force of Heaven. We have never seen it. Never. like we've seen the like exterminations, we've seen those side of it, but like that was just a group. That was just like a small group of angels going down and doing it, right? We have never seen like full force, full resources of heaven. And like I think that they only got this far because Sarah is struggling with her like morality. I think if Sarah came to Loot and was like the full force of heaven stop this war, I think they would have lost. I do. I just do. But yeah, I think Vox was, excuse me. I think Vox was such a good villain though, because like I think it works in this way. Like I am like, again, I was sad there wasn't a war because I just wanted to see like an angelic war. That would have been awesome. But on the flip side of it, like I think it works better that it doesn't succeed. I think it works better that like showing that Vox doesn't have actual true power. Like yes, he's powerful, yes, but I like that his power comes from manipulation. It comes from his ability to bring people together, to convince people. And once he gets too big for his britches and he stops tendering to those relationships, his power disappears. And when that facade kind of leaves and you see the real stakes of everything, he has like that power will disappear. And I like that a lot. I think that really works for me. So yeah, I think that is very fascinating. I think that is very interesting. I liked Vox as a villain. He's not gone. Divsy has said that he's going to continue to play a role in the season, or in the show, like till the end. Next season, he said it's about like humbling Vox now that he's not the number one in hell. Yeah, no, I'm interested. Like, there's that little bit at what is it, episode 3, maybe, when he's like, "So, princess, do you think I could be redeemed?" And I'm wondering, like, that's going to come full circle. Like, I think we might end up seeing like a redeemed, like the Vox redemption arc. I think the Vox redemption arc is going to go hard. I truly think so. That's interesting. That's fascinating. I'm excited for that. Where is that going? That's interesting. Loot. Actually, Loot and Adam. Not Adam. Abel. Loot didn't do much for me. Loot was kind of just like, hey, remember I have an arc here, but I'm okay with that. Like they have said, especially like what Vivsy has talked about. I'm waiting out that mission. So like, yeah, her whole point is that she's a character that's kind of just like simmering, and she's always kind of a thing, but we are building to something big with her. So I think we're building for a couple seasons with Luke. So I'm excited about that. That's interesting. I'm excited. Carmela Carmine, I liked her this season. I needed more. I just like that character so much, and we kind of just didn't get, like, I don't know, her like arc was like, hey, I almost did this thing, but then I decided in the last minute not to. I was whatever. Lucifer was a bit of an oaf this episode. I think I enjoy him because he's this little like silly little guy. I think maybe he was a little bit too much of a silly little guy this week, though. Like, I think Danny Mata mentioned it in his, like, reaction to it, where, like, he's just like, yeah, it does kind of just feel like, it did kind of feel like a Looney Tunes, like, trap. Like, it did just kind of feel like, I don't know. I think him stepping on it at first makes, I can do that, but I think like even he's like trapped in like the little bubble, and I think like I don't know, like he literally shows some face. He's like, "Wait, you're not Charlie?" It's like, no, dumb, like no, dumb idiot. Like I don't know. I thought he was a little too dumb. I don't know. Maybe it's just like naive, like hoping that it's Charlie, that like among all odds, he just wants to think the best of his daughter, and he just wants to be close. And like, I'm not mad at it. I just think it was a little bit too much for me personally. But also, I feel like I know nothing about Lucifer. Like, I did want a lot. I am a little disappointed at the lack of Lucifer this season. Like what? He makes like a small appearance in the first episode. He's kind of gone. And then yeah, like he has his episode 5 stuff, which is good. But I don't know. I wanted a little bit more. I wanted a bit more. Yeah, I think that's all kind of the major characters to talk about. Oh, Cherry Bomb. Oh, yeah, Cherry Bomb. I liked her a lot this season. I think she's really improved. I'm gonna speed this up because my voice is going out for talking by myself for an hour and a half straight. Hour 40, almost 2 hours. So yeah, Cherry Bomb. Cool. I like her a lot more. One of my MVPs this season. She had my favorite song, which was Piss. Yes, I'll say it again. I love Piss. St. Peter did nothing. Sarah was great. Emily was also great. Loved both of them. I thought Emily died for like a second there. That was crazy. She didn't, but I thought she may have. That would have been crazy. I kind of would have loved that, but I also like Emily, so I'm glad she's not dead. Hashtag piss. Hashtag piss. I fucking loved piss. Chris, what was your thoughts on the episode? I know you're a big fan of the show, so how did you feel about the season and these episodes? As we kind of start to wrap this up, because my voice is getting really thin. Darren, how goes the Life is Strange playthrough? We are in the I talked about this at the jump. We are in the nightmare sequence, and I am struggling through it, but I will hopefully have it out by Wednesday. Hopefully. Did I just sneeze? I did sneeze. Okay, we're back. But no, Life is Strange. Hopefully it'll be out. I'm either finishing it tonight or hopefully tomorrow. I'm gonna try and carve out time tomorrow to finish it. I really do. Did they play Cherry Bomb when they introduced the character Cherry? No, they could not afford that music. But that's a very good pitch. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, yeah, I guess if there are no other comments, we might wrap this up for the night. I don't know if I've ever done a solo episode of After the Credits, actually. I think this is the first time I've done this specific show by myself, which is kind of crazy, kind of insane. But thanks for everyone who stopped by. Just my random ramblings. I hope it equated to a regular version of the show. Again, normally there's that good back and forth, which will be back next week. Solid finale in the middle on whatever. I liked it. I liked it better than season 1. I think it's least on par, and the finale song is my second favorite of the season. Behind a tie between Demons / Bottle and Angel's Lounge. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's interesting. I didn't really mention that part, but yeah, like we did kind of do the like Care Bear, My Little Pony, like friendship forever ending, which I think works for the show it's in. I didn't love it. I did roll my eyes a little bit, but I was like, you know what? It works, I guess. What was actually happening in that scene, I was a bit confused about as well. But it's a fun finale. I think it works. It's better than them officially gaining okay, actually, you know what part kind of made me roll my eye? It makes sense, but it did make me roll my eyes when Valentino and Velvet join in. As if, like, the end of, like, a DreamWorks movie when the villain turns good. And just like, whatever, and starts dancing. I understand why they did it, because they didn't want to die, but it did make me roll my eyes a little bit. Have a good Thanksgiving, Darren. You too, Naruto. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to everyone who stopped in, and just everyone in general. Hashtag proud of Darren. Thank you, man. What do we have to promo this week? I mean, first of all, I want to promo. Actually, I have a couple of things I want to share really quickly. The finale, I'm sorry, the 100th episode of After the Credits will be next week. I am very, very excited. You are going to see some of the OGs of the show. We've had a lot of fill-ins and guests and new friends pop on the last handful of weeks, but we will have, I think I can say it. Taz is going to be back next week. I hope, all things considered. I think I'll probably push back the episode of Taz can't be here for that filming. So Taz will be here. I'm reaching out to Darth. They should hopefully both be here, but I need to talk to both of them individually. 100th episode, we'll be doing our yearly December ranking every show that we've watched during the year, that we've reviewed during the year. So every show that we have reviewed on this show, we will be talking about. We will be ranking them. We'll be talking about them once more, like we did last year. And it's going to just be a good time looking back at the show and all the shows that we've ever covered and all the memories we have associated with it and all the funny moments. And I'm very excited. Also, thanks for just getting me to 100 episodes. It's been great. Pipeline this week. On Thursday, we have a very special pipeline coming out. My friends Behind the Colonel and Draven will be joining me. We talked Stranger Things. We played a fun Stranger Things game. We talked who's going to die. We talked our favorite moments. We talked our favorite season in preparation for the final season. So that was a very fun episode. That'll be out on Thursday. So if your family's passed out after the turkey and you have nothing to do, tune in. We have a fun episode coming out. Keyblade Jeffrey said, can't wait. And then our final comment of the night. I kind of loved how annoyed Alistair was by the giant demon shark. SD, happy Thanksgiving. Love that gosh darn demon shark. Love the origin. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention it in the thing. I'll say this as my final thing. I loved, what is it? Is it Higher? Heavenly? I forget the song name, but I do like the Vox backstory stuff. That was awesome. That was cool. I love a TV producer that's killing his, like, co-workers to take their spots and, like, hiring the ranks of, like, a TV production. That's awesome. That's really cool. But thanks, everybody who joined today. This was an absolute blast. We will see you next week for 100 episodes, and I will catch y'all later.